Hello and welcome to What Happened This Week, a video series where we take a look back at some of the main events from history. Not only do we take a look at some of the big topics, we also celebrate famous birthdays and make a note of the unfortunate passing of some of the most famous people in history. This series is designed to pique your interest or remind you of some of the most important events of the past, so sit back, relax and enjoy. And if you do enjoy, please remember to subscribe for more content and hit the little bell icon to be notified of new videos. October 18th, 1867, the Alaska Purchase. The USA takes formal possession of Alaska from Russia, having paid $7.2 million. As Russia completed its eastward expansion through Siberia, the country inevitably crossed the Bering Strait and established a presence in the North Americas. This territory, first settled in the 17th century, was known as Alaska, but very few Russians ever moved there. Russia was damaged militarily by its defeat in the Crimean War, in which Britain and its ally France defeated the empire. Russian Tsar Alexander II began looking for ways to sell Alaska to America, especially as the territory would be impossible to defend if Britain decided to attack it, as at that time Britain held Canada as a colony at the time of sale. After the American Civil War concluded, negotiations began on selling Alaska to America, though opinion in both countries was against the deal. Many Russians did not want to give away a territory where gold had been discovered, and Americans did not want an icebox where very few people had lived. In 1931, the American gangster Al Capone was convicted of tax evasion. Happy birthday to Jean-Claude Van Damme. Also on this day, in 1931, we saw the passing of Thomas Edison. Moving to October the 19th, now in 1781, the British forces under General Charles Cornwallis signed the terms of surrender to George Washington at Yorktown at 2 p.m, ending the US Revolutionary War. And moving on to 1987, Black Monday, the stock markets around the world crash, including the Dow Jones Index, which falls by 508.32 points or 22%, 4.5 times the previous daily record. Now let's say a very happy birthday to Evander Holyfield at 58 years old today. And famous deaths was our good old King John, who died in 1216. Probably not the most well-loved English king, but we did get the Magna Carta out of him. On to October 20th, and in 1803 the US Senate ratifies the Louisiana Purchase. And for further information on the Louisiana Purchase, please visit my channel to find a dedicated brief video on this topic. In 1973, Queen Elizabeth II opens the Sydney Opera House. And famous birthdays, well, happy birthday today, 49 years old to Snoop Dogg. And this day also marks the death of the 31st US President, Herbert Hoover, who died in 1964. On to October the 21st, 1805, the Battle of Trafalgar. British Admiral Horatio Nelson defeats the combined French and Spanish fleet, although he was unfortunately shot and killed during the battle. In 1944, in World War II, the US troops capture the German town of Aachen, the first large German city to fall. Happy 40th birthday to Kim Kardashian, and also, as mentioned before, this was the day that Horatio Nelson died in 1805. On to October the 22nd, in 1962, the Cuban Missile Crisis. The US President John F. Kennedy addresses the TV about the Russian missile bases in Cuba and imposes a naval blockade on Cuba, beginning the missile crisis. A happy 68th birthday to Jeff Goldblum, one of the stars of one of my favourite ever films, Jurassic Park. And famous deaths, the British physicist and inventor Harold Horace Hopkins, who died at the age of 75, who was famous for the endoscope, a procedure I've had to undergo and it really wasn't very pleasant. October the 23rd, in 1941, Walt Disney released the animated film Dumbo. In 1981, US national debt hits $1 trillion. And at time of recording in 2021, the US debt is now $29 trillion. Happy 80th birthday to the soccer legend Pelé. And today we mark the death in 42 BC of Marcus Junius Brutus, the Roman senator and the most famous of the assassins of Julius Caesar, who committed suicide. October the 24th, in 1929, here we have a theme with stock markets. It was Black Thursday, the start of the stock market crash, with the Dow Jones down 12.8%. And again, on the stock market theme, 2008, Bloody Friday, saw many of the world's stock exchanges experience the worst declines in their history, with drops of around 10% in most indices. And a happy 31st birthday to PewDiePie. Now, as you're watching this on YouTube, if you've been around YouTube sometime, you may have heard of him as one of the most famous YouTubers ever. So yeah, happy 31st birthday, mate. And that concludes this week's historical roundup. If there are any events that you're interested in finding out more about, please do let me know and I will make a dedicated video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. But before you go, if you did enjoy this or you got any value out of it, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified of the next installment. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.